Gemini, song that's playing for you is Us versus Them. So, now it could be an inside battle or it could be an outside battle. Whether it's like your masculine and your feminine, it's like you finally on one accord with yourself in regards to how you feel and how you think about what you're feeling about, and that's putting you in a position to take a certain type of action, whether that's invest in a new action or expression, or just you moving in your world differently, period, or you making a decision when it comes to that, whatever that is. You finally go over some sort of pain or hurt, or the not, you could have expressed something to your external world. It's like you gave your world feelings, and those feelings might not have been received the way you wanted them to be received, and you could have been in a position where you were stuck on that. You were stuck on the wanting something to work, whatever that wanting was, or whatever that was, period. It's something you were emotionally invested in. It's like no matter how you did it, it wouldn't work, and at one point you wouldn't give up.
Scorpio feminine.
You could be dealing with a Scorpio, or this is just an evolutionary stage for you. But because now it's like you're finally over it. You finally put something behind you. Now what you put behind you, it's like you could be putting that behind you because something else caught your eye. You feel me? You found a feeling somewhere else. That's what pulled you away from that hobby, or that's what got you got you out of that rut that you were stuck in, whatever we're talking about. You feel me? Or that's somebody outside of you, because it's you versus them. So it could be a situation where them is your external world giving you pushback regarding something you have emotions for. It's like you finally got out of an emotional place, or you're finally investing in something you feel about. You found that hobby, you found that passion, you found that direction you want to go towards or go down, and it's like for some reason, it's you doing that is putting you against your current world. If it's like that, there's friction with the decision you want to make, between whether that's friction coming from family, that's friction coming from your friends, or the fake friends, or the real friends, the people you've been banging with for a while, or it's just an internal thing. You're going through some sort of internal conflict because of a decision you gotta make, or a decision you want to make. And you know what you got going on. You know who your worst enemy right now is, or you know who you up against. If you ain't up against nobody, then you might be up against your damn self. Look, for the emotional clarity you're aware of something, and this little awareness could be changing the things you engage with, or the things you want to engage with, or the things you've been engaging that you are now shifting how you engage with. You're shifting how you emotionally express yourself here, because you could have been here for a while, and at one point you were confused about how you felt. You weren't certain about whatever we talking about, but now that you are certain, now that you have some sort of clarity, and that clarity could have came from you receiving a feeling from somebody, all right? So it's like you might have been confident in a certain idea or path you were investing in, and it took somebody from your external world, whether it was just a random person or someone you were familiar with, or it came through an energy you were familiar with. So you could have got a lesson from you interacting with a stranger, but interacting with a stranger in common ground that y'all share. So you could have had a hobby, and they happen to have the same hobby, and they happen to be in the same aisle in the store as you, buying item for the same hobby y'all share. That energy brought y'all together, and the lesson that you learned interacting with that person or those people is how God talked to you. You feel me? So it could have been like that, but you got some sort of clarity. You might not like how your world might not like you right now, or it's like your world is almost repulsive now. Where there once was attraction, now there's no attraction. I know it's the song that's playing for you, and it's you know how you feel about what you've been feeling about. Whatever you've been feeling about. You've been uncertain for a while. Yeah, look, it's shit coming down. And it's like, because you know something, and because of the change in what you're paying attention to, or whether that's an internal conversation or what you're communicating with from in your outside world. It's like you losing things willingly, or whether you want to or not. With this light came an expel of some darkness, and it could have been dark places in your life that you were dark and you thought there was light there. Turned out there wasn't no light there. Now that you got this new knowing, now this knowing is shining in that space, and you realize ain't nobody there was real with you. Ain't nobody there was really fucking with you. Whether that's just you and the things you manifested, that characteristic trait, you didn't need to do that. You didn't really have to express yourself like that over there. Or you really didn't have to take this feeling from this person this type of way. Or you didn't really have to express this type of feeling that type of way over there. You feel me? Whatever language and whatever you were communicating with, whether it was a battle with self, or a battle with your external world, whatever is ending that once upon a time had you in a certain type of position, you're no longer on the same high horse or the same mind and just confidence you were in once upon a time about a space or an energy or a relationship or whatever you get it, whatever you're investing in. It's like your routine has changed. And not because you wanted it to. Not because you wanted it to. You know what that means for you. You know what you done and applied or invested in, or someone could have came and expressed themselves towards you in a very untactful manner. I'll tell you that much. It's like someone came, oh damn, the fact that they thought they could get one over on you if they did that is foolish. Because that only brought clarity to how you feel about what the fuck this is in terms of where y'all stand regarding this relationship or regarding this thing. And that shit's dubs. It's a flat tire now. That shit ain't going nowhere. If it's that type of situation and someone came and expressed themselves towards you. If it's you were in a situation and you expressed yourself in an environment, wherever you put yourself, you got in there, you tripped. And it took you tripping to realize. And it's like falling flat on your face for you to realize what you had to change about yourself that you once might not have thought you had to change about yourself. Matter of fact, this is what people praised you for. Turns out that's what you gotta let go of. Type shit. You feel me? Yeah, look, because the truth is there was no real love in that energy, how you were carrying yourself. When you communicated with your world, or when you invest in your relationships and your partnerships, the way you do it, the way you move, how you invest and how you express, it's a dead energy. You might have thought because of something you've been put a certain type of space or form of expression that you've been put into, because you might have been slighted in your past. It's like you unconsciously were moving in like a defense mode type speak, but it could be a defense mode for any category of life, not just relationships or friendships or whatever you were associating yourself with. You feel me? And that was hindering your other relationships or your other relations or your other ideas. It's like that was bleeding on your other categories of life, causing you to malfunction, so to speak. Now you in this space, you know that now. Big time. Yeah, whatever you know, you can't ignore it. You can't not know what you know. Everybody been getting that shit, boy. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius, don't have to be. Hey, I'm telling you, you might not feel good about it, whatever it is, that shit, but whew. It don't make you feel good. You don't feel good at all. If it's not you, then someone outside of you, it's like they lost all confidence in the space they share with you. Now that you in this sense of awareness, of knowing how you feel, now it's like you're actually investing in that. You're building upon that understanding about yourself and the new you've came to agreements with or terms with or accepted. Now it's like you're celebrating new emotions, and in order to celebrate those emotions, you got to get away from this. The person who brought you this idea, they brought you this idea with the attempt to confuse you or could keep you in a certain emotional sense of uncertainty, and that would bring a change in their world, allowing them to do something in your space. Whether it's your partner, you might be in a situation in your relationship. Your partner been bullshitting in the relationship for a while, and it's like it's getting to the point where you about done with the shits. Now your partner thought if they came to you and expressed or tugged on an emotion that they know you had about the relationship or about the situation or the space y'all shared, they thought they could go ahead and pull one up on you and get you in a position where you give them another swing. You feel me? It's like that. Or invest in it again. Or just go through that cycle one more time. It's like someone wanted to keep you unsure, but now you're sure because of the attempt someone made towards you to keep you unsure. You feel me? Ugh. No, too much. If it's you versus you mess yourself up. Big time. The last song I was playing for you was big time. It's like you shot yourself in the foot if it's a solo battle. And but at the same time, it's still too much, but it's fitting the story perfectly. At the same time, it's like, you probably didn't think you could do that in whatever situation, because you were confident in a space, almost had a cockiness to you about a situation, whatever that was, whether that was an energy, how confident you were in a certain type of energy or expressing yourself a certain type of way. You feel me? And you tripped, and that shit, boy. Shit, you could still be in that situation because the last card out is the 8 of Cups. You might still be involving yourself. Is that the 8 or 9? Am I tripping? No, yeah, that's the 8. I ain't tripping. You could still be going through this. You still, I said that you was, you know what you got going on, Gemini. I still got one more though. Or someone holding on to you. But it's done up for you now. Whatever that is, been done with that. Ever since you got emotional clarity about what it is you had to change. And that emotional clarity made you transform. You can't go back now that you know, now that you see, now that you got this new emotion busting inside of you. You got a new fountain. Just installed that bitch too. Just installed that bitch. And whatever that water is running for, whether that's an idea or just something you want to communicate in your world, whoever holding on to you, pointless. Can't do shit. If it's you in a position where you might have got you a sample of some water, or you just have emotional clarity about a situation now. You ain't in conflict. It's like you're not fighting with yourself. You don't need to understand something anymore. You get it. But now that you get it, you can't do it. Whatever it is. You know if that, put your foot.